Well, thank you for joining us today in this incredibly glorious East Cut Transbay Day. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for bringing the sunshine. I'm the Executive Director of the Office of Community Investment and Infrastructure, otherwise known as OCII. My name is Thor Kislowski, and I'm excited and honored to be here with you today to celebrate this groundbreaking for these two affordable housing projects here on Transbay Block 2. Can I just a quick round of applause for that? The vibrancy of downtown is no better showcased than in the development of these two new spectacular affordable housing projects. We're surrounded by incredible architecture, spectacular nearby parks and waterfront, and best-in-class transit at the intersection of the entire San Francisco Bay Area's local, regional, water, rail, and bus services. These Block 2 projects, east and west, are the fulfillment of the community's vision to develop a mixed-income neighborhood for all San Franciscans. The fact that we're standing here today is a testament here to Mayor London Breed's steadfast commitment to rapidly delivering high-quality, affordable housing to this East Cut community in this thriving neighborhood for the great city of San Francisco. We're also grateful to Supervisor Dorsey for his leadership and to our East Cut neighbors and advocates for their collaboration and support of these dynamic developments. In addition to Mayor Breed and Supervisor Dorsey, today we have other key partners in this strong public-private partnership. I want to especially acknowledge the hardworking team at OCII, Elizabeth Colomello, Jasmine Kuo, Philip Wong, and Kim Obsfeld. The fruit of their exceptional dedication is evidenced in today's major milestone achievement. I want to also thank our especially hardworking commission, Chair Bevette Brackett, Vice Chair Carolyn Scott, as well as Commissioners Vanessa Aquino, Tamsin Drew, and Kent Lim. And now, it's my honor and great pleasure to introduce our first speaker, San Francisco's housing champion, our great mayor, Mayor London Breed.
All right. I don't know about you, but building housing gets me really excited. I feel like Oprah Winfrey. You get a home, you get a home, you get a home. Everybody gets a home. And let me tell you, the reason why we are so excited to be here in the East Cut is because it's been a long time coming. When I announced my 30 by 30 plan, that is to bring 30,000 residents and students to the downtown by 2030, it had everything to do with plans that were already in process, but also opportunities to make it easier to get to yes, to build more housing, and to turn downtown from the 9 to 5 financial district that it has been in the past to a place where people work, live, and play. And what's so great about being here in the East Cut is it represents all of those things. People who live here now, folks who play here, sometimes pickleball and a few other things in this East Cut open space, but also a place for people to live of all economic levels. When these 335 units are completed in the next couple of years, they will represent an opportunity for so many of our seniors and families and people who represent different income levels. It will represent an opportunity for them to call the downtown home too. And why is that important? Well, San Francisco, our downtown is very dense, and it's a densely populated neighborhood, but also a place where people want to be here. I mean, who could imagine that the sun could actually shine in downtown? Who would think that you would need sunglasses? Well, in this part of East Cut, you need sunglasses, and also you need to bring the energy and the excitement of what this will entail. When these 335 units are completed, we anticipate that anywhere between 700 to 800 people will be living in these units, and we are excited to welcome them. But building housing just isn't the final thing. We also have to make sure that our transportation network is intact. And so we are so excited that last week we were with Speaker Emeritus Nancy Pelosi announcing a $3.4 billion investment in our Transbay terminal that will allow 11 different regional transportation options come to this transportation hub, including Caltrain at 4th and King and our future high-speed rail. Can you imagine kids wanting to take a trip to Los Angeles and getting on the high-speed rail, walking from their new units, folks who are visiting San Francisco, catching the different modes of transportation, people who are working here? This is going to be a game changer for the future of San Francisco. And so it all starts with housing, and transportation is an important part of that. So we are so grateful to everyone who made this possible. These various people think that groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings are just, ceremonial events. But the fact is, they represent a lot of hard work. They represent a lot of collaboration and a lot of money. And let me just say that we couldn't have a better partner in this work than not only Governor Gavin Newsom, but the person who he has put in charge of helping to make sure that the right resources financially get to the right projects. And I want to thank Gustavo Velasquez for always being that real partner. And in this project, over $41 million, I was going to say billion, but I'm so used to getting that kind of money from the feds. Eventually, maybe we'll get it from the state too. But we'll take the 41 million and we'll make every last dollar stretch so that we can get this job done on time and on budget. I want to thank our nonprofit developers who continue to ensure that this is done right and that folks from the community are a part of this development from start to finish. Thank you to Malcolm Young from Chinatown Community Development, and thank you so much to Doug Shoemaker from Mercy Housing for the extraordinary work that you do. I also want to thank Lynn Minnick from Bank of America, because all of these people that you see right here, we do a lot of ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings for affordable housing. And again, we can't do it without this extraordinary partnership and the resources, both the public and private sector. It makes a difference when we are working together to address some of our most significant challenges. And I'm really proud to be working with an extraordinary supervisor who believes in building housing in San Francisco. And again, this neighborhood, the East Cut, thank you for continuing to partner with the city so that we can move forward on the vision of what downtown can be for the residents and the people who call San Francisco home. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. One more time for Mayor London Breed, please. Well, as the MC, I have the distinction of introducing folks. And I'm going to introduce somebody who, to this community, probably needs no introduction. But I want to bring up Supervisor Matt Dorsey, who, as the mayor just said, over the past 2 years has been a champion for affordable housing and housing at all levels. So, Supervisor Dorsey, please come up.
Thank you so much, Thor. It is so exciting to see the Transbay plan really coming together, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to do my part to realize a vision that has been underway for a lot of years. And with something like this, you always have to give credit to the people who have been working on this for many years. As it's coming together, it's just remarkable that we get to see a neighborhood that we can all celebrate. This is such an example of what authentically progressive 21st century urbanism should be. And this is a neighborhood where I really have the honor of representing this and coming here to celebrate cultural events. And this is the neighborhood's backyard where we watch the Super Bowl and have a great time together. I want to thank Mayor Breed for her leadership and for just being a visionary on 21st century urbanism, for your leadership on building housing. I know it's important to you because when I first met to ask the mayor for this job, and I had a bunch of ideas on recovery and everything, Mayor Breed wanted to know, where am I on housing? And we are in lockstep. There's no daylight between London Breed and me on the need. for affordable housing and making sure that we're living up to the commitments that we have made in our housing element. I want to thank Thor Kozlowski and his team at OCII for the remarkable work they have been doing for many years. Thanks also to the East Cut community, and especially East Cut CBD, Andrew and his team. And of course, when you talk about the East Cut community, you can't leave out that the all-powerful pickleball lobby. We see you, we hear you, big pickleball. You're there. Thanks. I want to say thank you to our nonprofit partners as well. Mercy Housing and CCDC. Mercy Housing, is no stranger to District 6. It operates a few facilities in my district, including a couple that are neighbors of mine. I live in Mid-Market. But I'm really excited to see the CCDC, the Chinatown Community Development Corporation, having an expanded presence in District 6. Right now, they've got a few facilities, one that we just opened recently, Maceo May on Treasure Island, but we also have the Edwin and Lee apartments and 550, wait, no, 8, is it 544 on Mission Bay? There's another one also in Mission Bay. And what I love about Malcolm Young and his team is, Malcolm is one of my favorite community MCs. He's always having a lot of, so I always like having Malcolm at events because he's a lot of fun. As the speaker who after me knows, San Francisco has some ambitious housing element goals to facilitate the production of 82,000 units of housing by 2030. And the projects that we're here to talk about and to celebrate the opening of today gets us closer to that. But what we're doing here isn't just building communities. In many ways, we're also creating a blueprint for what 21st century urbanism is going to be elsewhere in San Francisco. What we're accomplishing here in District 6 is what San Francisco is going to look a lot more like in 100 years. So I really value the partnerships of our community partners, our partners at the state level, our nonprofit partners, and all the city leaders who are a part of this. This is really about fulfilling the promise of the city of St. Francis and all that means for 21st century urbanism in terms of being a city that is more inclusive, more diverse, more equitable, more affordable, more livable, more sustainable, with bike lanes and pickleball for all. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Supervisor Dorsey. Did you really have to plug the pickleball, folks? Thank you. Well, the mayor already lauded our next speaker, but Gustavo Velasquez, who leads the California Department of Housing and Community Development, their programs are creating affordable housing and communities of opportunity throughout the state. And on this project, they awarded us a $28 million loan to fund the Block 2 East portion through their Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities program, or ASIC. So our next speaker, give him a big round of applause, Gustavo Velasquez.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Buenos dias. It is a pleasure to be here. Beautiful morning. I'm really glad I have the sun behind me. It's just remarkable. I've been coming to San Francisco a lot lately, which is a testament of the incredible energy that Mayor Breed, her team, and the ecosystem, the affordable housing ecosystem in the city, which is one of the best we have in the state of California. Arguably one of the best in the countries, with organizations like Mercy Housing and Chinatown Community Development and Episcopal, all of them contributing to this project. Just a great ecosystem, a great partnership, but it is local elected leadership, right, that is going to drive these projects to fruition. And we are at the state in Sacramento just only holding hands and helping facilitate what the city of San Francisco can do for itself. And again, just the fact that I'm here many times in the last 2 years just is a testament of a lot great things happening, many great things happening here in the city. And I come here a lot. Actually, I have often meetings with our federal counterparts. You'll never believe that there's just so much affordable housing here. I was talking to Doug Shoemaker about the affordable housing we have here on your right, There'll be a new building here behind you. Of course, this nearly 200 unit that is already being built behind me. So it's just the momentum is incredible. We know there's a lot more affordable housing that needs to be built in the city of San Francisco, but that is why, again, these partnerships are so important, and the leadership that the mayor and the board of supervisors can provide. The Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities program, it's funded through cap and trade proceeds. It's exactly the type of program we want to see replicated time and time again. This is the intersection of creating more affordable housing, investing in infrastructure, climate-friendly goals, transportation. It's all about the connectivity. You know, the mayor made reference to, future 600, 700 households. All of them will be low and moderate income households. And, the health outcomes that connectivity produces by walking to their jobs or biking or just having close proximity to all the services that they need, that is just an incredible improvement. Not just the home they're going to be living in, but just the connectivity to all the things they need. And that's exactly what the Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities program is all about. And let me say, this program has invested $3.3 billion since its inception across the state of California. And today, with this project, we mark for the city and county of San Francisco $350 million of all that volume of investments, which is the first time we see a city and county reaching more than 10% for the entire state of California, all of the funds. And why is that? Because projects like this just fit so well the criteria that Governor Newsom is so focused on, that the state legislature is so focused on in investment. It's health outcomes, it's connectivity, it's better transportation, it's clean housing and transportation, and ultimately is really centered about a people's agenda that I know everybody here is so focused on. So again, thank you so much for making the state part of these investments. We appreciate everybody that is involved. Especially, let's give a big hand to the people who will actually make this project possible: construction contractors, all of the folks that will be intimately involved in getting this project to fruition and seeing the families being welcomed soon here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gustavo. And it's so great to hear the head of HCD make the business case for affordable housing and community investments in San Francisco. We as San Franciscans believe that that's the case, and it's good to hear a state leader recognize that. And it really benefits all of San Francisco and the whole entire San Francisco Bay Area and the entire state. So thank you, Gustavo. The next speaker has been a leader in affordable housing for quite some time. Doug Shoemaker has been at Mercy Housing since 2011, and he leads the affordable housing development side of Mercy, California, and they are the project developers for Block 2 East, the 184 family project here. I want to bring up Mr. Doug Shoemaker.
It's never a good sign when your friends say he's been around for a while. So Thor and I are going to have to talk about, I'm good. I'm the old man of affordable housing, as Malcolm just told me. Anyway, it's great to be here. Obviously, Mercy Housing, super excited to be developing another building here in the East Cut, where we've had such a good experience to date. I was happy to be talking to some residents of some Mercy Housing properties and other properties around the neighborhood, and it's become such an incredibly vibrant neighborhood. So impressive to be down here and see what the association and neighbors have been able to make out of this, and I'm looking forward to the development of the park. And as Mayor Breed said, I'm excited about Caltrain and someday high-speed rail. All of that sounds fantastic. What I really excited about, though, is just the inclusivity of the neighborhood, the degree to which we have these incredibly expensive high rises behind us. And now, thanks to our partnership with OCII and Chinatown CDC and others, an additional slug of affordable housing to make this community that much more inclusive. So really wonderful. We got a lot of folks to thank. So I'm just going to briefly go quickly through some names. On the Mercy Housing side, Sean Wills and Taji Louisville, Mike Kaplan, Ramey Dare, John and Eric, Elena Zilberfein, and many others. Malcolm and I have been friends for a very long time. I'm glad to know he's your favorite developer supervisor. I'm going to work on my MC skill. I'm going to have to punch up my jokes for Supervisor Dorsey here so I can get some props next time. But no, it was really fun to actually do something together. Malcolm and I have done a ton of advocacy over the years, and obviously Chinatown and Mersey have a long history together, but really wonderful to be doing work together. And I just want to thank the folks at Chinatown for all the work that they're doing to make this combined project possible. It's really exciting to be operating something together or building something together. On the OCII side, there's just a ton of folks to thank. I won't name them all, but in addition to obviously providing both of us with this opportunity, there's the incredible staffing that goes into making sure that these projects move forward and availing ourselves of really important funding sources like ASIC, which would not be possible without public agency support. So Thor, Kim, Jose, Elizabeth, Philip, Jasmine, Jane, those are just a few of the folks that are listed on this sheet. So Gustavo, always wonderful to have you here. We want you here every week. We want to go from 10% to 20%. Where'd he go? There he goes. He's just moving around on me so I don't raise the bar. Also the same for Liz and the rest of the Bank of America team, huge partners of Mercy Housing and Chinatown's. We do a lot of work in these public-private partnerships, and when you assemble this many people and complicated funding sources, it's really wonderful to know you're in good hands, and which that's exactly how we feel with the team of Carrie and Jennifer and Brandon over there. Our general contractors, wonderful to see the folks from Swinnerton. Patrick, always bringing it home. Shelby, Ruben from Rubicon, just great to be here. And then I saw Serena and Owen and Yaku and Brian from YA Studios and Kennerly Architects. This is going to be really fantastic buildings behind us. I don't think Beth Stokes is here from ECS, but they're going to be a fantastic service provider to some of the residents in here. And then again, really want to thank Andrew and the other folks from the Community Benefit District for making this community such a vibrant place. And we look forward to opening a new building with new neighbors for you really soon. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Thor. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Doug. And I did not mean to imply you've been around a long time. You're just an expert. People, look to you for advice and those kinds of things. And I get now the great pleasure of introducing the best developer MC, bar none, in the East Cut Beale Maine corridor, Malcolm Young. Malcolm is the executive director of CCDC. And crib from their website, I thought this was really good. CCDC builds community, enhances the quality of life for San Francisco residents. It's real profound. It's not corny, it's real legit stuff. I know that that's what they do. And Malcolm's going to come talk about that. Malcolm, come up.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I had a scripted speech, but because of Supervisor Dorsey's remark, I guess I'm throwing that out the door, and I got to be funny or something like that. But I want to just start with something really quickly. It's a CCDC tradition, and hopefully it's a tradition we can bring to the East Cut and to all of District 6. I want to ask everyone to take a look to your left, and then take a look to the person on your right and tell them, "You're beautiful." All right, now we're a community. We're done. We've built community. I can leave. First off, I just want to say it really is amazing to be here. I know these past 4 or 5 years have been incredibly challenging for San Francisco, but I also know that affordable housing development and production has been one of the bright spots in this city. In many ways, we've really helped to keep the economy going. We've really helped to keep jobs going. We've helped to keep investment going, but that doesn't happen without intentionality, without focus, and towards that end, I think we really have to acknowledge the leadership of our mayor, Madam London Breed, and our supervisor, Supervisor Matt Dorsey. That intentionality has to extend to our city agencies and state agency partners. Gustavo over at Housing Community Development, Thor over at OCII, and I also have to mention they've got the shoe game going. I thought I'd look cool. Their shoes are way better than mine. Thank you. No one laughs at my jokes. What's wrong with you guys? Only Supervisor Dorsey? Come on. Yeah, I know exactly. I'm the second best MC here. I also want to thank our bankers, B of A. You guys cut the checks. Thank you very much. Keep them going. Don't stop that. We need to thank Swinnerton and Rubicon for building this stuff. It's actually really cool to be partnering with you guys. For CCDC, this is the first time we're partnering with Swinnerton, so I'm excited about that. And of course, to our architects and designers, Kennerly, Methune, Yaku, you guys are building the environment that's going to create community. So thank you for your focus and dedication and attention to that. That's where you applaud. I also just want to acknowledge our partners over at Mercy Housing. You know, it is something, I mean, Doug's right. This is the first time that our organizations have partnered together. Doug and I have known each other for a long time. And when we were exploring this potential partnership, my team over at Chinatown CDC got really excited, not because they wanted to work with you, Doug, sorry. It's because they recognize that Mercy's team is the gold standard in project management, not only in San Francisco, but throughout the country. And they were super excited to learn from the pros. And Doug, unfortunately, we're going to be stealing some of your secrets, so. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. Doug said keep your hands off his staff and vice versa, so. Last but not least, I really want to acknowledge the Chinatown CDC team. I see Kim Piota here, I see Joanna Ladd here, I see Phoebe Meridas here, Julia Ling and Matthew who helped put this event on along with the Mercy staff. It's been challenging to develop in this environment. I think we know that. The challenges faced by the market rate folks are the same kinds of challenges that we've had to face. And yet we've all been able to overcome that time and time and time again. And while it's not a solo effort, I do just want to acknowledge the hard work that goes into getting these projects to where they are now, especially in the uncertainty of these economic times. So to the Chinatown CDC team, I just want to give a big round of applause. Thank you. And finally, you know, I'll just end with this. You know, we in Chinatown know what it is to build complete communities. We know what it is to have a place where you can live and work and play and eat and love and, not love, sorry. That might be inappropriate. Eat and play. And we also know that in times of crisis, that's where your resiliency comes from. We know that as a neighborhood, we were able to survive the pandemic and come out of it stronger because of the completeness, because of that ecosystem, because we're not a neighborhood that's a one-trick pony or a one-function neighborhood, because of that diversity. And so I'm really, really excited that Chinatown CDC can contribute to creating that diverse economy, that diverse community that will be the East Cut. And frankly, that will lead the way in San Francisco's recovery, in restoring the vibrancy of this city moving forward, because we are a world leader in so many ways, and this neighborhood is at the forefront of that, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So thank you, everybody, and hand it back to Thor.
I always forget to thank. I thought, just if you'll excuse me 1 second, I always forget to thank Monica Yang in the back who does all this work for us. She not only helps prepare the event, but she also writes my notes, but she never puts her own name in the notes, and so I always forget to thank her. But thank you for all your hard work.
That's great. Thank you. Maybe you can help us with our notes. Actually, Marie in our office did all of my writing here, so she's incredible. Thank you, Marie. Right there. Our next speaker, Malcolm already suggested it. It's maybe a given, but it's not, you know, it's better not left unsaid. The money. So I want to bring up our next speaker, Liz Minnick. And she said her name to me earlier today. When I read it, I said, that must be a Minnick. And she said, yeah, hi, I'm Liz Minnick. So Liz Minnick from Bank of America. They're providing financing for 2 of the developments, $91 million on 2 East and $57 million on 2 West. So Liz, please come up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thor. And it's an honor to be with you all today on this beautiful, beautiful day as we break ground at this wonderful development. Bank of America is proud to partner with both CCDC and Mercy Housing and bring the 335 new affordable housing units to our city. Bank of America's commitment to community development is vast and deep. Last year, we invested almost $8 billion across the United States, creating 13,000 units, and that commitment starts right here in San Francisco as well. I'm going to continue the thanks, but I'm going to go fast because we're San Franciscans and we melt in the sun. So Bank of America, and on behalf of Bank of America, I'd like to thank San Francisco OCII, the Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development, the City of San Francisco, CCDC, Mercy Housing for our ongoing partnership, and my amazing teammates at Bank of America. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you for your partnership and confidence in investing not in OCAI, CCDC, Mercy, but in San Francisco as a whole. Our next speaker is Katina Johnson. She's been a community organizer and advocate for the East Cut and Recon Hill communities for nearly 14 years. She's a member of the Transbay Citizens Advisory Committee and a strong advocate for affordable housing, including the Block 2 development here. Katina, would you come up? Thank you.
All right, good morning. Morning. Thank you. I'm here to speak on behalf of the OCI Transbay Citizens Advisory Committee. My name is Katina Johnson. I want to say that I specifically chose this area when I moved here in 2009 because San Francisco is a city of neighborhoods. Every neighborhood has its own vibe and its own flavor. And in a city as historic as San Francisco, you don't really get the chance to play a role in the formation and early stages and development of a neighborhood. So that's what excited me about moving to Rincon Hill and the East Cut. To paint you a picture, in August of 2009, the old terminal building was a few months away from becoming rubble, and this spot was shiny and new and soon to be full of buses. And there was practically nothing going on the weekends. So there wasn't much of a vibe. But today, in 2024, there's color, there's vibrancy, there are families, there are children, there are older / middle-aged single people like me. And yes, this is downtown, but it's also a neighborhood. And most importantly, there are things going on the weekends. So building a neighborhood and getting to this point has not been an easy task. Among many of the challenges I'm sure the developers have had to endure, they sometimes took a grilling when they came to our CAC meetings, but they took it in stride, and they've been great about addressing the committee's concerns, which were learned based on the lessons that we've learned about living in affordable housing in an expensive area. The OCII staff continues to work miracles to move things forward with each new obstacle and surprise that comes at them. So on behalf of the OCII, CAC, I want to say thank you to every single person who's worked so hard through all the years to make this happen, and to the soon-to-be residents of Transbay Block 2, welcome to the East Cut neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you, Katina. And did I hear Katina right? She said it's a vibe. The East Cut is a vibe. You hear that, Andrew? Thank you, Katina. Can we borrow that? Well, our next speaker will talk about the community building that's been going on. Andrew Robinson of the East Cut Community Benefits District has been the CBD director there since 2015. He's been leading them and contributing to advancing the development in this area, including building a sense of place and cultivating the East Cut's quality of life for all San Franciscans and visitors alike. He loves pickleball. He's about to tell you all about it, but he also loves soccer, and he loves a good laugh. So, Andrew, come on up.
Thank you very much, Thor. I am the last speaker, so I apologize. The sun always shines in the East Cut, and the mayor did not mention that every house comes with SPF 50. So, but it is an amazing time to be part of this neighborhood. Last week, this massive commitment to the Transbay Joint Powers Authority and the building of the tunnel from 4th and King to the Transit Center. But that's just a small piece of the story. And many of the speakers here today have really touched on it, but I believe this neighborhood is at the forefront of what the renewal of downtown will look like. This neighborhood is rapidly evolving. It has a dynamic mix of housing across the economic spectrum. It has retail, walkable streets, it has jobs. We're bringing more jobs here through this project as well as other projects in the pipeline. In fact, this block right here is a microcosm of what's happening in this neighborhood. The civic pop-up recreation space behind you is a community hub for us. It is creating the social infrastructure we need to create neighborhood bonds. And the housing project behind us that'll deliver over 300 affordable housing units is essential to how we create a vibrant neighborhood that is a cultural tapestry that is representative of what we love about this city. And together, these two projects are just a small story of the neighborhood. This is these 300 housing units, 335, will add to the over 8,000 housing units we already have in this neighborhood. Believe it or not, we have housing here, and we are building that community vitality as well. We are helping San Francisco meet its ambitious housing goals, but we're also only as good as the spaces we build around these buildings. So the retail that'll come here, the child care facility that'll be part of this is essential to having families be able to thrive in this neighborhood. And we have to deliver the long-promised permanent park spaces in this neighborhood that will connect the neighborhood and bring people together and provide that space we all need to thrive. The Eastcut Community Benefit District, of course, is committed to working with all of the partners here today, and I couldn't be more grateful to welcome CCDC, to have Mercy make additional investment in this neighborhood. Thank you to the state for its investment, Bank of America, for your team, Supervisor Dorsey, Mayor Breed. All of these partners, all of you here today are what make this possible. And with that, I just want to thank everybody and say that the evidence is incredibly strong that San Francisco, of course, will recover, and downtown will be a place of vibrancy, safety, community, all of the things that you want to see in your neighborhood. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Andrew. And now we're kind of coming to the merciful end. And I want to thank everybody. There's going to be some refreshments and lunch over there, but I just want to go down the list and make sure we didn't miss anybody. And I have seen a couple of folks that I want to acknowledge as well. First of all, again, just want to thank, and you could just start doing the long round of applause here. We got Mercy, CCDC, Swinnerton, Rubicon Joint Venture, Kennerly and YA Studios, Methuen, Plural Studios, Wu Yi for child care here. I saw the Transbay Joint Powers Authority team. I saw Adam Vanderwater. I saw the DBI, Department of Building Inspection, Patrick O'Riordan, who was here. He's got to make sure those permits are right. He's doing a personal inspection. And I want to personally thank Monica Jang from Mercy, Julia Ling and Matthew Liu from CCDC, Marie Munson, again, thank you for putting all this together. Judson True and Sophia Sanchez from the Mayor's Office. Go get something to drink. Go get something to eat. Thank you. Have a good day.